I don't think I've ever seen an oversight of this magnitude.
Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not.
I mean, there were certain things that could have been put in place to ensure that this didn't happen.
Yeah, that it says can win Super Bowls, it's can't.
And ultimately, it looks like Colin Cowherd is in some huge trouble as a result of this. So before we get to the content, we're giving away multiple copies of Madden 24. On my Twitter account, all you have to do is follow me and retweet the tweet in front of you and turn on my notifications. But in addition to this, I only have 147 Snapchat friends. So we're going to be posting Madden codes on my Snapchat story and on my Instagram story as well. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL is finally back.
That's impossible!
But I'm gonna admit, the preseason is boring as shit. I mean, when the second stringers and third stringers come out, your boy does tend to fall asleep a little bit. But I found a way to make the preseason all the more interesting. Because ladies and gentlemen, we are back! Posting prize picks on the days that there are significant preseason games, starting from the Hall of Fame game all the way to the Super Bowl. Your boy is going to be making picks on his Instagram story. The picks are free. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram to get them. And if you haven't signed up for prize picks, right now when you use my promo code Mikerophone, you'll double your deposit up to $100. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsorship. Mike Chuck 1212. What's going on, everybody? We've been making a lot of content recently on the world of sports analysis because there's been a lot going on over the past couple of weeks and months. From Shannon Sharpe leaving Fox Sports 1 and Undisputed to Skip Bayless recently bringing on Richard Sherman and Lil Wayne as his new co-hosts. Yes, he actually did that. We made a video on that previously. And it seems like both ESPN and Fox Sports have been in a war with one another. ESPN is in talks with Shannon Sharpe as a contributor for First Take. Fox Sports initially came to prominence by poaching Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd in 2015 and 2016. And it seems like the war between these two is quite literally neck and neck, as recently we discovered that Fox Sports is expected to have more viewership in the future than ESPN is. Combine that with the fact that Disney, ESPN's parent company, took a $5.5 billion loss and it resulted in a series of layoffs, then you definitely are starting to see some chinks in ESPN's armor. ESPN's biggest splash recently was acquiring Pat McAfee and his show, and recently it seems like they're not done there. One individual that ESPN was very interested in potentially bringing back was Colin Cowherd. Now, Colin Cowherd is known for having the top sports radio show in the country. It's been this way for quite some time. He's an absolute legend whenever it comes to sports radio, and that can't be discounted. He's been doing this for about 20 years, and he originally got his run in ESPN. Eventually, he'd experienced so much success that he would find himself creating other shows on ESPN, like Sports Nation with Michelle Beadle, that would run from 2009 to 2012 until Marcellus Wiley would take over for Cowherd in January of 2013. A few years later, Colin Cowherd would officially leave ESPN. Now, he left ESPN on good terms. It was considered to be a mutually beneficial departure. It was once again a situation where Fox Sports was making a huge push in sports content, and Colin Cowherd was one of their big fish that they decided to acquire. Cowherd would initially join Fox Sports on a 4-year deal to host his radio show, but he recently signed another contract extension that would keep him there until 2025. And we have actually mentioned in other videos that right now it seems like Fox Sports might have trouble retaining Cowherd, and this is before his current controversy. According to this article from Front Office Sports, Fox's next problem: can it keep Colin Cowherd from free agency? With Shannon Sharpe out of the door, Fox Sports has another huge potential talent problem. Can it retain superstar Colin Cowherd? The possible free agent's current deal expires in early 2025 after the conclusion of the NFL season. The 59-year-old Cowherd is happy with the successful 8-year run at FS1, said sources. His long-running show, The Herd with Colin Cowherd, airs simultaneously on FS1 and Fox Sports Radio, and he also appears on the Fox Fox NFL Kickoff Sunday pregame show. But ESPN is very interested in a reunion. The Brass and Bristol views Cowherd as the answer to their struggling ratings on ESPN radio, said sources. The article concludes with it saying that the monster negotiation coming up for Fox's Colin, his ratings are at an all-time high and he causes zero issues, unlike Skip Bayless. I really like that last line. He causes zero issues, unlike Skip Bayless. Because yes, Skip Bayless recently got into a controversy for what happened with Damar Hamlin. Out of 10 tweets on the situation, one of his tweets were taken out of context and it caused quite a stir in the sports community, in addition to resulting in Shannon Sharpe no-showing Undisputed.
If you'd like to tweet us your emotions of the night about what happened, please do so. You can tweet us at @Undisputed. The last thing we want to do is offend anyone by trying to do what we always do, which is talk about sports. Obviously, my partner Shannon Sharpe is not here today. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow.
But believe it or not, it seems like Colin Cowherd caused a huge issue. Now, Cowherd does have his beefs in the NFL. Primarily, there's two quarterbacks that Cowherd has a huge beef with. One being Baker Mayfield. He's memed and ridiculed Baker Mayfield for as long as time.
Baker Mayfield looks tiny. He looks like a little boy playing with bigger, older brothers.
The other being Trey Lance, because on one hand, when Trey Lance was drafted, Colin Cowherd said this.
Absolutely one of my favorite days of the year.
There's Trey Lance. Get him, Trey. Come on, baby, get him.
And on the next second, it seems like the moment Trey Lance stopped dating Colin Cowherd's daughter, Cowherd took the moment to destroy him during the leaked video of Trey Lance spending time with adult dancers.
Can't complete 50% of his throws, making it rain at a strip club. It's not the NBA, man. Got 8 home games, got to win them, especially when you have a Super Bowl roster. According to the story, Twitter supported Trey Lance. Of course they do. Of course Twitter supported it, but Twitter's not real life.
So Colin Cowherd decided to make a list of the best starting QBs in the NFL. This isn't a list that's ridiculous to make. You see this all the time. You'll see like tier 1, or in his own league, it'll be Patrick Mahomes. And then in tier 2, you might see Josh Allen and Joe Burrow and Dak Prescott, etc., etc. No, this isn't my actual list. It's just a list off the top of my head. Well, this is Colin Cowherd's list. And stop me if you can figure out what's the problem with this list.
20 guys who are not getting to a Super Bowl and certainly not winning it. And that's everybody else. From Baker Mayfield, Teddy Bridgewater, Dwayne Haskins.
So you can see Colin Cowherd has a gigantic list here. And this list is pretty odd, I have to admit, because this is Colin Cowherd's QBs that can't win Super Bowls drafted since 2013. And there are players on this list that quite literally aren't even in the NFL anymore, or at least players that I'm not even aware of them being in the NFL anymore. For example, Paxton Lynch hasn't been on an NFL roster in a very long time. Blake Bortles hasn't been in the league in 2 years. Josh Rosen quite literally has been fighting for practice squad rosters. And then you have Carson Wentz, who recently posted this picture of him practicing with gear from each and every team that he's ever been on, which to be honest is kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. So I have to admit, this list to begin with is a little fishy. And it's not that I disagree with this list, because I don't really think you could win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. I think the jury is really out on Mac Jones. I haven't really seen enough about Trey Lance, but I know Colin Cowherd likes to on Trey Lance whenever he has the opportunity to, and I feel like Zach Wilson needs to develop a little bit more before we could fully rule him out. But the interesting thing here is the fact that Colin Cowherd decided to include Dwayne Haskins. Now, let me tell you why this is such a catastrophe. One, we know Dwayne Haskins unfortunately passed away a little over a year ago, and including him on such a list is absolutely unnecessary. But two, Colin Cowherd screws himself out of any opportunity whatsoever to try to fix the situation. Because one, he reads Dwayne Haskins' name.
Dwayne Haskins, guys that are just not, yeah.
And right when you think he's stuttering because he made a mistake by saying,
"Oh man, I shouldn't have said Dwayne Haskins' name,"
this is what he says.
It says can win Super Bowls, it's can't. Can't. win Super Bowls.
So there goes any opportunity you have of saying, oh yeah, my bad, my graphics guy made a huge mistake because he also wrote can win Super Bowls instead of can't. He shouldn't have included Dwayne Haskins' name in there. So there's only one of two explanations here. First explanation is that Colin Cowherd is completely tone deaf and included Dwayne Haskins in a list despite him passing away tragically. The second is Colin Cowherd probably doesn't watch football and has no clue whatsoever that Dwayne Haskins even passed away. I mean, either way, this is just a truly horrific look, because originally I looked at this list and I thought to myself, hey, this could be a list of every quarterback that he's ever said can't win a Super Bowl since the moment they were drafted, and maybe he's updating it because these are players that were drafted in 2013, so maybe he's just adding on to this list. But even if that is the case, man, you don't need to include the guy that passed away on this list. No one's gonna look at this list and say,
Oh my god, you forgot to mention the fact that Dwayne Haskins, there's no way he could have won a Super Bowl.
there's no way someone's gonna nitpick and mention the fact that Dwayne Haskins is being omitted from this list. There's also more popular names that you could have included on this list. It's just such a bad list. I mean, if you wanted to get a rise out of people, you could include Dak Prescott. I mean, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but there's no better way to cause controversy in the football community than to rile up Cowboy fans by saying that Dak Prescott can never win a Super Bowl. If you're trying to trend and if you're really trying to piss people off, you could piss off a large majority of football fans, which happen to be Cowboy fans, by saying that. Or what about Josh Allen? After his rookie season, I thought Josh Allen was going to be a huge bust. I think we all thought Josh Allen was going to be a huge bust after his rookie season. It's just every single argument I could potentially make, or I'm trying to make for Colin Cowherd here, just isn't there. There was no reason whatsoever to include Dwayne Haskins. And although the point of this video isn't for me to say, hey, we need to cancel Colin Cowherd, a huge part of what we do on this channel is meme people for the absolutely stupid that they do. And this is up there. I mean, this is up there for sure. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.